then again, I don't really regret that. Everything has happened the way it's supposed to be. I don't really hear anybody say that they can't win. So I always choose to figure it out. So I guess that'll be the next line.
Hey, everyone. We are super privileged to have Craig Siegel from Cultivating Lasting Symphony as our guest tonight. So if you have not checked out Cultivating Lasting Symphony, you absolutely need to. It is it's transformation, it's energy, it's everything mindset, level up. It's like, wow, it's the real deal and it's the whole deal. And Craig is the founder and CEO and one of the most highlight people I've met. So you can help but be inspired in his energy. So Craig, thank you so much for being a guest tonight and welcome to Social Commerce. Give it up. How are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. And after that intro, I couldn't be better. Thank you so much for having me. You know, your family to me, you're in the CLS membership. So much love for you. And I can't wait to provide a ton of value to your audience here tonight.
I am absolutely confident you will. There's no doubt.
All
right. So on social commerce, there's a series of 14 questions that I ask to every guest, and they answer it in their personal way. So it's standardized but personal, and it lets us know a little bit more about you. Okay, so the first question, although I introduced you a little bit, can you tell us about what you're doing and your why behind that?
I'm a performance coach, keynote speaker. I'm a community builder, podcast host. I'm all things transformation like you attested to. I love personal development. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the fact that we can change our thoughts, which change our beliefs, which change our behaviors, which create new results. But more importantly than all the personal development stuff, I love to help people. I love to see people get that spark in their eye that they lost, that they can do things that they thought they couldn't do, so to speak, at any age, to recondition, to reprogram their mind, and literally accomplish anything. So I love personal development and I love the community we're building and I love to help people fly.
And that is very evident and I can truly attest to that. I'm actually not sure how we connected, but from our first conversation, you were genuine. And I see you make that effort with each and every person in your presence. You actually take time to return messages, connect. It's a very personal experience and it just speaks to who you are as a person in terms of what you're going for and where your intentions are at. And that's so important.
Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that.
Okay, so question number 2 is the flip side of that. So what would you never want to do as a profession and why?
What I never want to do. You know, I don't want to discredit what anybody else does, but for me personally, after being on Wall Street for the last 11 years, and although lucrative was draining me, I would never want to go back to a desk job. Now, especially that I found CLS and what I love to do, and I married my gifts, which is my ability to communicate and elevate, with my passion, which is personal development, and I married the two. This is what we're going to be doing for the rest of our life. So I would never want to go back to doing really anything that doesn't set my soul on fire, but specifically going back to a desk job.
Wow, that speaks to me so much because in my personal connection with clients and people I meet, I really truly believe in pairing your intention with your intuition, which is like your gut's instinct or inner knowing of what is really right and resonates with you deeply. So totally hear you on that. So just with the Wall Street thing, what was missing for you? Like obviously the financial abundance was there, but what was left out?
Substance. It felt like I was waking up every day, Nancy, and going to a job. And I was drowning, essentially. Yes, I was making a lot of money, but I learned that that's not equivalent to success, right? And so when I shut down my office at the beginning of the pandemic for what I thought was going to be 2 weeks, who knew, back last March, I took a moment for the first time in a decade to reassess. And then that's when I put together the strategy of finding what my gifts are and finding what my passions are and marrying them. And just quickly to pivot for a second, a lot of people are looking for clarity out there and they know they want to do something different. They know they want to do something a little bit more, but they're not sure how to find that. a good tool is to find what you're really good at and find what your passion is and try to marry the two.
I love that because yes, one of my biggest inspirations in reaching out to help people is I've met so many powerful people and high level careers and they're like excelling, but they're miserable because they haven't done that. They're really doing what they are skilled at and good at in one aspect, but they're not bringing in the heart and soul to it. So I love that so much.
Same.
Okay. Next question is, do you like going to libraries, bookstores, being in connection with real books, or are you like a kind of hop on the app guy and take a look there?
So this is an interesting question, and no one's ever asked me this before, but I love to have and to look at and to smell a hard copy book. I love it. Ironically enough, when I'm reading books, which I read a book a week, I actually listen to them in as audiobooks only because I can multitask a little bit. Like I can listen to a book while I'm working out or while I'm
Right.
doing some other things. So that's what's easiest for me in this season of my life. But that being said, I have a whole collection of books. I love to go to a bookstore. I love to smell a new book. So that's why it's a tricky
Mhm.
question, because although I love them, right now I'm more of an audiobook type of guy. But it's nothing like the smell and just the look of a classic book.
Yes, I totally understand what you mean. There's a certain ambiance that comes when you walk into a library, bookstore, and you're
Yes,
right. There's like almost like the new car smell, right? But it's the
that's
book
right.
smell.
That's exactly right. I love that.
But I totally get the multitasking. So that's awesome. All right. So what is the most daring thing that you have ever done?
I would say sign up for my first marathon, because at the time I had only just started running a few months prior. And I have a bit of an addictive personality, in case you may or may not know. So at that time, that was a big moonshot for me 3 years back. And speaking about the addictive personality, we just ran our fifth one last Sunday. So
Wow.
now they don't seem as scary to the naked eye. But at the time when I signed up for that first marathon, that was a big, scary moonshot.
Yes, yes. So even what you said about Sunday's marathon with it seems like you just like jump into the marathons without so much training.
But
Seems like you're just like set to go.
it's
So
true. It seems like that. But the difference now is that I've done so much inner work and really
yeah.
understood, not to sound too spiritual, but like to dive into the quantum and like put myself in a
Mhm.
frequency and vibrate with the universe. So I've done so much of that work. And I really believe, and I guess I proved, that that is significantly more effective and important than physicality. So I'm a lot more mentally abundant now, if you will, than I
Mhm.
was 3 years back when I signed up for that first marathon.
Wow, absolutely. I get
Obviously,
that.
physical training is great if you had that luxury. Um, but this stuff may be more important.
Wow, that is incredible. And I love that. And it speaks to so many things on so many levels.
Yeah, this is
So
deep stuff. But and also like the marathon journey for me ended on Sunday from that like 3 month story arc. But the real journey of CLS that we're about to go on has only just begun with what I was able to discover. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
wow, yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be super awesome. I know.
Yes.
Okay. Is there something that you wish you had said yes to looking back?
Maybe mentorship at an earlier age. Had
Mhm.
I had less of an ego and didn't think I knew it all, and now I understand that I don't know what I don't know. But years back, I thought I knew everything. So I should have taken up more mentorship at an earlier age. But then again, I don't live with regrets. I believe everything has happened the way and time it's supposed to be. But the only thing I would say, and for the audience listening, is very valuable. Mentorship is key for anybody in any walk of life. I mean, think about like
Mhm.
Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, like they all have coaches. I just think it's so
Yeah.
important. So for the audience listening, mentorship is something you should say yes to at an early age.
I absolutely agree with you. And I would never, going forward, trust a mentor who wasn't into working on themselves and going to that level as well.
Yeah.
Just curious, how did you discover mentorship?
I started studying NLP 10 years ago, neuro linguistic programming, and understanding the mindset, stuff like that. And I wanted to learn more faster. And so I did some homework and I found a mentor who can guide me, who was experienced in that technology, if you will.
Uh-huh.
And then it worked, right? Like I was able to accumulate all this wisdom and knowledge and put it to use. And it was at that moment that I realized the power of mentorship.
Wow, that is incredible. I
Yeah.
I believe people come to us in divine timing. I can be very woo, so don't worry about that with me. But yeah, basically at the biggest turning point of my own life, which was like leaving a long-term marriage, that's when I stumbled across my own mentor who inspired me to kind of embark on all of this stuff. So I'm always very interested how people kind of came to that and where it led them. So thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that.
absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so what was a pivotal moment that changed a lot of things for you in your life?
The most pivotal moment in my life was the pandemic because it provided me an opportunity, like I said earlier, to
Mhm.
shut down my office and take a moment for Craig and just reassess where the rest of my life was going to go. And I
Yeah.
had made a deep realization that although successful from a monetary standpoint, and I had some good
Mhm.
relationships, I was not leaving a mark on the world. I was not putting a dent in the universe, and I was not making a
Mhm.
major impact. And when I realized that I'm obsessed with personal development, but maybe more than just a passion, maybe it's actually my purpose. And I put together a strategy.
Mhm.
CLS was born, and the rest is history. And think about how many lives we've impacted since that moment happened, right? Like even like having you in the family and you getting so many gems and takeaways, and maybe you tell someone else or you share the wisdom with a friend or family member, whatever the case may be. It's just been a ripple effect. And listen, like truth be told, like had the pandemic not have happened and I didn't have a minute, and again, I own that. I should have taken a minute, but I didn't. If had that not have happened, CLS might not have been born. So I would say that moment when I discovered CLS was the most pivotal moment of my life.
Oh wow. That is so amazing. So when you first shut down your office, did you have a moment of being scared or fear or like, is it going to be okay? Or did you kind of just take a breather and it just transitioned into this new path?
You know what it was? I wasn't scared because I have tools and skills that I've acquired where I can start a business. Like I'm not, that doesn't scare me. But I saw so many people in the beginning of the pandemic watching a lot of Netflix and doing a lot of day drinking. And for
Yeah.
some reason that scared me. I was like,
Yes.
I don't like to not have purpose. So when I
Mhm.
saw that, I realized like I got to do something right now. There's always a choice. And I really don't want to go back to doing what I was doing because that wasn't fun. So let me get in that frequency and see what makes sense. And
Mhm.
and then I just went to work and CLS came to mind.
That is amazing. And how did you come up with the name?
so so when I discovered CLS, the next day I was on a run in Central Park and it just came to me. I wanted to do something with my initials, Craig Landon Siegel, but like a play on them. So
Yes.
somehow cultivate lasting symphony came to me. I'd always liked the word symphony because when I think of symphony, Nancy, I think of like an orchestra or a group of people like
Mhm.
all playing together in tempo, in alignment. And and I want that to be lasting, like not just temporary motivation, like watching a Rocky movie or hearing a good song. I want people to make lasting changes with their life for the better and so forth. So I'm a bit of a weird and strange cat, and I own that. The words just came to me, cultivate lasting symphony, and they matched my initials. And pulled over on that run and went to GoDaddy.com and bought the domain, and the rest is history.
Oh my gosh, that is so incredible. What an incredible story. And every time I hear CLS, the word that comes to mind for me, which is one of my favorite words, actually two words, serendipity and synchronicity.
Ooh, that's ripping. I love that.
So I believe that's kind of what pulled me into speaking with you and exploring this further. So love
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty cool synergy right there. I did not know that. Those are nice words too.
Thank you. Okay. So what is something that you thought that you'd like and you didn't like it at all?
These are great questions. I tell you, I love to be challenged. Something that I did not like that I thought that I would.
Yes.
Hmm. When I first started CLS and I was putting out content, I thought I wanted a lot of one-on-one clients because I didn't,
Mhm.
that I was building the brand. And I'm very grateful to say when I opened the doors, I know this doesn't usually happen when people are starting
Mhm.
out, but I was creating that Hollywood hype. I was putting out content. I ended up having 25 one-on-one clients right out the gate. And I
Holy
was so,
moly.
I know. And just to be clear, I would not suggest that to anybody because that's 25 different personalities. So, and it's one of the reasons why I love the membership right now because we have 103 strong, but it's
Mhm.
one group. So the 25 different clients right out the gate was draining, and it's not because anyone was bad or negative or anything like that. It's just this is real deep work that we do here with transformation stuff. So
Mhm.
what I thought having a lot of one-on-ones would be great. Now I limit myself to 5 every 6 months. So I definitely learned from that.
Well, I get that because it's evident that you're someone who gives 125%. So to do that for 25 people is like giving an hour a person. That's like 25 hours more than there are in a day,
That's correct. Yes.
right? Okay, so I totally get that. All right. So are you the first person on the dance floor?
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. Definitely
Do
not.
you make it to the dance floor or dancing's not your thing?
So look, if I was single, I would probably
Mhm.
not be dancing. But like I know like my past relationship, like my ex-girlfriend loved to
Mhm.
dance. You want to do the right thing and support. So I'd be a trooper and get out there. Um, and I can dance if I'm being honest, but it's not my favorite thing to do. But I'll put I'll put on a face and I'll do it and I'll suck it up and I'll make the most of it. But definitely not the first one on the dance floor.
That's fair. Totally fair. Okay, so if you could share only one thing about yourself with people, what would that be?
Just genuinely want to see everybody fly and I want to help everybody. And I know what it feels like. I have empathy for people that are struggling or have a lot of limiting beliefs or having trouble finding themselves because I was there. And it doesn't have to be like that. We don't have to hold on to the past and so forth. We can make big changes in a short period of time. Um, and I just want to see everybody fly. And I have a very positive, contagious energy, and I just want to spread it. And I want
Mhm.
everybody to feel it. And I legitimately just want us all to do great things.
I love that. And it's very, very clear that that's what you want. And that's like, I think what magnetizes people to you, honestly, is that you truly want the best for everyone. You are creating obviously a legacy, but it's not just about what can happen for you, it's about what can happen for everyone. It's just very, very clear in your messaging and how you interact with the people in your group and just what you're all about. So I love that. And I also love the quote that you have posted, I think maybe at least once, maybe more than once. And it's like, what if I fall, but what if I fly? I know it's kind of
Yes.
paraphrasing it. It's one of my favorites, and I really love that so much. And it just says a lot about what you stand for.
Thank you so much, and so much love for you. And really, when I think of that quote, I think of perspective, right? Most people probably say when they're going to try something new, or what if I, fail? But
Mhm.
some of us look at it, but what if we fly? And with that
Yes.
hope and optimism, right? And just the possibilities. That's all it takes, really. It's just self-belief and just to have the guts to show up and take a shot at things. So that's all about perspective. One of my personal favorite quotes, absolutely.
Okay, so what is your favorite word and why? And what is your least favorite word and why?
My favorite word is juggernaut. I don't know why. I'm strange, and I love to call. I love to call all the big celebrities that are on the podcast. I always call them a jug or a juggernaut. When I think of the word juggernaut, I just think of like a big, powerful, impressive person. I don't know why I like that word. My least favorite word. The word can't, because I don't want to hear anybody say that they can't do something. I believe
Yes.
if there's a will, there's a way, and we can figure it out. So I guess that would be the word that comes to mind.
That makes so much sense because there's nowhere to go with it. It's just like
Right.
a wall.
That's
Hmm.
right.
Okay. Do you fight fair in an argument?
Yes. And I used to be very stubborn. Maybe it's because I'm a Taurus. But
Me
now,
too.
like,
When's your birthday?
what's that?
I said me too. When is your birthday?
April 27th. You?
May 5th.
Oh, very nice. Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, it is.
Very nice. Yeah. So I don't like to argue at all. Honestly, I'm not a fighter. I don't like confrontation. I just like love and positive energy. But like if I am in a disagreement, I'm much more patient this day and age. Like I can hear someone's perspective and side of the story and show empathy and try to understand where they're coming from, um,
Mhm.
and put myself in their shoes, so to speak. So I would say I fight fair. Yes.
Yes. I'd actually be surprised to hear you say anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's a little more light and fun. Sweet or sour candy, salty, chocolate, what kind of snacks do you go for? If you
Chocolate.
indulge. Yes.
Chocolate. 100%. If I said anything else, my mom would smack me. She loves chocolate. I love chocolate. Chocolate, everything.
It's worth the investment in chocolate. Yes, if you're gonna go for it, go for chocolate. I agree.
Absolutely 100%.
Okay, and our last question is, what fictional place do you wish that you could visit?
What's one place that I wish I could visit?
Fictional place.
Fictional place.
Yes.
Um, Maybe Oz from the Wizard of Oz.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Um, Place in Avatar was pretty cool.
Uh-huh. Definitely.
Um, yeah, that's a great question. When I think of movies, I'm a big movie guy. I love movies. I love it. Some of the cool locations, like even some of the Marvel superhero movies, stuff like that. Um, from the Avengers, like Wakanda. I just think of like really cool places that I would like to be at. But if I had to pick one, maybe I would say Oz, the Wizard of Oz, the Yellow Brick
Ooh,
Road. I
yes.
love to do a light jog on the Yellow Brick Road.
That can be your goal for 2022.
That's great.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here in Social Commerce. Give it up, answering all the questions. I learned a lot about you, some very cool things. So yeah, I'm so excited to see where you're taking CLS and the next stuff coming up. I'm excited to be part of it. So do you have any final comments or things you'd like to add? Anything else you'd like to share with us about you or your mission?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for unbelievable conversation. The questions were fun. They were deep. They were deeper than I thought they would be, and they challenged me, and that makes me excited. I love to be challenged, so I appreciate them, and I appreciate you. And for the audience, this is what I like to always land the plane with. For anyone that's out there that is inspired or looking for inspiration or not 100% sure if they should take that leap, whatever the case may be, two things. Number one, stop acting like we're going to live twice, and why not you? Because if it's not you,
Hmm.
it's going to be someone else. So we could figure it out. We could strategize. We could revamp our mindset. We could put together strategies. And there's always an option. There's always a choice. And why not you?
Wow, that is so powerful. I love that so much. Thank you for that. So for people wanting to connect with you, what are the best ways? And we'll just drop them in the end notes of this video.
Yeah, so I hang out the most, I would say, on Instagram at Craig Siegel _CLS, also Twitter, on Facebook, Craig Siegel. We have our website, cultivatelasting-symphony.com, which has everything. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, the CLS experience, and for our daily texting community of daily inspiration, text the number 917-634-3796. All things inspiration and revamping the mindset.
Okay, super awesome. So that is amazing. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And all right, we'll say good night, but have a great night and we'll talk soon.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me, Nancy. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you. Bye-bye, Craig.